Alright, so this is the homepage of the Surveyor website/app. It's going to look very similar on a computer versus a phone or a mobile device. So if you're on a desktop, you can just type in app.mwater.co and that should take you to this site page right here. If it's your first time logging in, you just enter in your username and password and it should take you to this homepage. If you're on your mobile device, same thing. It's just going to look a little bit smaller and a little bit different. So one thing really important about this page is it will show you how long ago you synced it with the offline database. So in case something happens to the internet, or if you're in a location where internet is not very reliable, this is something that's going to be really important. So making a good habit of clicking that Sync Now button before and after starting tasks just as much as possible will be really helpful. Another thing to note is that offline surveys sync every 20 minutes, so you don't want to exit out of the app on your phone or leave this browser on the computer until those 20 minutes are up. And even then, it's just better to wait until you get back onto reliable internet, clicking that Sync Now button again, and then exiting the app and the browser. So the two main things you can do with the Surveyor is looking at the map with the different water sites and points, as you can see right here, add a site, and then also logging data through surveys. So if we click the map here, it will take you to this map tab over here, and this will show you all the different sites that you have access to. So you can see these are all the sites that are on my map that I have access to, that I can change and edit data for. So I can click on a specific site and it'll give me a quick summary of the information about that site. Custom ID is what we use, our organization specifically uses to refer to this water point or site. And then the unique ID is what mWater uses to keep track of all of its data points. You can also get more information about the site by clicking on a specific site here in the list below the map. So if I click this will take you to a larger page. And the main thing to know about this page is that you want to click this start survey related to this site. So that's one way you can add in data. So if you're at Union Ditch number 1 and you want to log in data, you can click on the Union Ditch, or the Virgil Ditch, I guess. I clicked to Virgil Ditch. Then you can click Start a Survey related to this site, and you will have access to this custom survey created by our organization. So you can click that, and this is where the first page of the survey. So this first page basically shows the information about the time and the date and the place that you're taking, that you're completing this survey. This is filled because we went from the map tab to the survey. Normally if you click the add tab and start a survey, you will have to fill this out on your own. So you'll click select and you can find the specific site that you're working for. So that would be this one. Or you can search up the name, Virgil Ditch. And if you wait a little bit, the sites should pop up. And one thing to note is that locations are different from water sites. Sites specifically allow mWater and its users to track data about that site over a period of time versus just the address or the location of it. And then the date and time will be filled out for you automatically. You can take a picture of the water point and then you can click next. This is the second page and you can fill out all this information. You can skip to the next page if you want and fill out this information, or skip that. And this will take you to the last page of the survey. And what you can do if you want to save it for later is click that button. You don't have to name it personally. If you leave it blank and click save, it'll just keep this started on blah 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 name. But if you want, you can name it Virgil Ditch Survey 1. And you can click save. Now you can see that there's a notification that popped up on tasks, and this is where it'll show you that you have not finished a survey that you started. So then you can click on that and go back to completing that survey. If you want, you can delete it and then it'll be gone. So it'll take some time for this red icon to go away, but you can just check and see that you don't have any draft surveys. This assignment tab and issues tab are not going to be used very much. Assignments is just if the creator or the admin side of the organization pushes out specific surveys for you to fill out. And then the issues tab is where you can mark if a specific site isn't working. For example, if you're at a well and the well is broken, you can create that issue here, but again, these two tabs aren't very important. The main tabs is going to be this one, My Surveys. So now we went over the home, the tasks, and the map section. Last thing to do is the add. So you can add a site, and you can see all the different types of sites that mWater offers. For our purposes, we're always going to use water points. This page is going to help you set up the site. So we're always going to have our sites as protected until we finish collecting data, and then we'll make it public. And then you can select the organization that is going to manage the data. So you can name the water point. You can include all these different things like description, type, custom ID, and then you also want to set the location of the water site. You can click current location to use the GPS on your device. So I'm on a desktop, it's going to take a while. Or you can set it manually, enter manually, and this will give you these options. You can click use map if you prefer to find your location on a map. What happens is when you click and drag the map, so the red icon is always going to stay in the center of the page. You just want to move the map to fit that red icon. So it's a little confusing at first, but it's not too bad. You can also include a photo of the location if that will help future enumerators, which are just a fancy mWater term for people who input data. If it will help them locate or find the site more easily, you can upload an image of the site. And then you have all these different categories you can select. For our purposes, again, you won't really need any of that. So then you can click create, and that's another way to add a site. And again, you want to click the offline sync button.